We have sort of a problem here. Yeah, you apparently didn't put one.
Watch out for a cornhole.
Work sucks.
The work sucks genre of movie is as old as time. From Squidward, who dreams big but never escapes the Krusty Krab, to Clerks, where they just let the life pass them by behind that convenience store counter,
I'm not even supposed to be here today!
to Fight Club and The Matrix, who want to burn it all down for a better tomorrow, or just because they want to. But there's one story that encapsulates the depression of Office Space better than any other. And it's over 100 years old. And of course, that piece of literature I am talking about is Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis. Before I go any further and explain how Franz Kafka's 1915 book is connected to the 1999 Mike Judge cult classic of Office Space, let me break down what Office Space is. Office Space by Mike Judge follows our main protagonist, Peter Gibbons, a frustrated, unmotivated programmer who works in a Austin, Texas-based company in a tech. With a terrible girlfriend, shitty job, and all around just a shitty life, he is just existing through life more than actually living through it. Everything sucks for him, to be honest. And he can really see it here in the little audio here where he's trying to brake forward in traffic, trying to cut through lanes and stuff like that. And he's even going way slower than that old man up there. And it really just shows that most parts of his day are a slog and just are not helpful and just something to do so he can get some sort of paycheck. And of course, you also meet his friends and coworkers. Samir, believed to be an immigrant, and he's very angry nobody can say his last name. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to piss him off anymore. And Michael Bolton, who hates that he shares the same name with the famous singer Michael Bolton. I'll play a Michael Bolton song here. I've never heard of Michael Bolton before, but that's one of the other characters. Of course, you have a little bit smaller side characters that come in bigger later. Milton Waddens, which actually comes from another Mike Judge film, a little cartoon he made, where Milton Waddens is the main character.
By the window, and they moved me 3 times already this year. If they do it one more time, I'm out of here.
Also with his terrible boss, Bill Lumberg, who you've probably seen this guy a lot before. He kind of looks just like Germa.
Hey, Germa985 here.
And he is terrible, put lightly. He's also in the Office Space cartoon next to Milton. You can see that they didn't have the same voice actor, and he kind of a little bit different of a appearance and sound to his voice. But that's him.
But
That way we'll have some more room for some of these boxes and things we need to put in here.
Doesn't that life just make you kind of want to fall down the stairs or just stare at the ceiling for a while? Me too. Anyway, but there is a transformation from this terrible status quo. There is going to be a transformation in our protagonist. It comes in hypnosis. In this moment, this is his transformation, his enlightenment, his way of looking at the world differently. They use hypnosis to make him just feel relaxed, to let all the stresses of work and everything like that finally just get off his back. This is his metamorphosis. Instead of becoming a beetle, much like Gregory, he is finally becoming a man. And there is no takesy-backsies, because during this hypnosis procedure, the hypnosis dies. I know, right? Dies. He just straight up dies. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Now freed from this fear and obligation to his shitty work life and everything else in his life altogether, he's finally free. He's free from all the things he's been trying to do. He breaks up his girlfriend. He goes up to that waitress that he likes. He's starting to fish. Hell, he even just tells his boss nothing, because he just doesn't pick up the phone, so he won't be called into work on Saturday. This isn't a violent rebellion or a strange one. It's just apathy. He chooses to have peace over the ambitions of life. He chooses to be human instead of a bug. This awakening isn't just some sort of way we would all love to happen. To finally feel happy, to finally feel peace, to finally feel life is normal. It's something a little bit deeper. It's a little bit strange. It's something Kafka-esque.
Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. Part 1. One morning, when Gregor Samsa woke from troubled dreams, he found himself transformed in his bed into a horrible vermin. He lay on his armor-like back, and if he lifted his head a little, he could see his brown belly, slightly domed and divided by arches into stiff sections. The bedding was hardly able to cover it and seemed ready to slide off any moment. His many legs, pitifully thin compared with the size of the rest of him, waved about helplessly as he looked. "What's happened to me?" he thought. It wasn't a dream.
It might seem crazy that I'm saying a late 90s workplace comedy is a retelling of an early 20th century existential novella, but the similes are there. In Metamorphosis, you are following Gregory Samsa. Wakes up to find himself transformed into a giant monster that resembles a beetle, and it shows the flaws in the world that he lives in. Instead of caring about his situation that he finds himself in, he cares that he won't be able to make any more money. His family doesn't care about him turning to a beetle, they just see him as a monster now. His workplace doesn't care and just fires him. They even show that the family can get better jobs. They can get more money. They just chose not to. They just chose to have him as the sole provider and let all this weight fall onto him. His isolation and his hate against their own child and brother and coworker turns into him rotting away and decaying into nothing. This liberates him from work, but it's only liberates him into death. On the opposite spectrum, there's Peter, who had his whole mindset change. He no longer cares about work. He believes, hey, I can do whatever I want. I want to live the world I want to be. In Office Space, he throws around the idea of, if you had $1 million, you can do whatever you wanted, what would you do? And he didn't know. His only answer he really gave out through the whole movie was
nothing.
Nothing, huh?
I would relax. I would sit on my ass all day. I would do nothing.
But Franz Kafka explains why we can't do that.
Money to live on had to be earned.
But you can't fault Peter for at least not trying. And almost of the midway of the movie, he tries to steal money from his work. Since they're working with bank tellers, he's trying to steal the small amount that's been left unaccounted for. And this idea is so crazy, it can only be made up in 1999 minds, and of course, Superman 3. But it fails because, well, what they thought were going to steal were pennies off a dollar. It overnight became $300,000. They tried to find a way to make it be their own money, but just let's say they aren't really great at doing that.
To clean? No. Wash. Here it is. To conceal the source of money as by channeling it through an intermediary. To conceal the source of money.
Doesn't really help us, Michael.
You guys can both eat my ass, okay?
These consequences of going to prison, federal prison, terrible prison, don't come because there's somebody else that is being crushed by the system that, well, burns it down.
Okay, I could set the building on fire.
Milton is the true Gregory of Office Space. He is squirrely, tiny, anxious. His entire life revolves around this office, and he has nothing to show for it. He was fired 3 years ago. Nobody has yet to tell him, and he is not even making any money after they find out about that. He is what Peter would become if he didn't transform. This is what Gregory is through the entire book. So, they take it to the maximum extreme. Even his catchphrase is, "I'm going to burn this place down." He is sick and tired of being pushed around for his entire life. He is what happens to somebody that truly becomes the work sucks genre. He is truly, truly a bug. And what's so sad about Gregory and Milton, even if they had their life given a extreme upgrade, they were given the money they were always deserved. They were given a better life in every sense of the word. They are who they are. And these two people would forever be stuck in the prison, no matter if it be made of walls that hold an office or an island that holds paradise. They'll always be stuck being bugs. At first glance, they almost seem like opposites. One is about a man who stops working because of something physical. He becomes a monster and eventually withers away into dust. The other one is about a man who stops caring, about this work that he hates so much, and eventually it brings him to peace. And of course, there's somebody in there that wants to get rid of it altogether and burn it down. Some are rebels, some don't rebel, and some just do nothing. The work sucks genre isn't always this calm. There's much more action-oriented films about this. We could talk about Fight Club, for example, which just brings everybody down to zero through explosions and mental torment. But this is probably one of the best satires of office work that has come out in the last 25 years. It shows just how demeaning it is. It shows how calm everything is and how under that essence of calmness, there's so much rage and dehumanization that's happening all together. In our world, we don't even need to be bugs to feel dehumanized. There's algorithms, Zoom calls, going to jobs that pay you not enough to live, and everything costs way too high. It chips away at all of us. And many of us dream of escaping to somewhere like Milton. Some dream of just having a nice life. Some wither away, and some try to break away and maybe start something better. But sometimes the most powerful things we can do is to choose to care less and choose to be who we are. I know it's hard to do that because, well, life is not easy and we have to do things we don't like to do to survive. But I hope just watching through this, it shows you that maybe, just maybe, somewhere down the line, we can have work that fulfills our soul, our body, our mind, and we can all be happy that we are doing something that's worth our time. I hope you enjoyed everything I've made so far, and I hope that was a very good little essay I've made for you all to enjoy. I actually have one more thing that I want to show y'all before I end the session, so thank you for ever got this far in the video, and I'm very glad for you to care this much. At the start of the video, I did explain that it was set in Austin, Texas, is where I live. So, here it is. This is where it was located in Kirk. Initech is also done microstag. That is where it's at. I'm right here at where it was filmed. It might also be on the other side, but I don't want to drive that far, and it's about to rain, so I have to go home and mow the lawn. So I'm so glad that you decided to stay this long for a guy like me. I hope you enjoyed what I was showing y'all today. And really, the work sucks genre was such a roller coaster to think about. And it was just kind of, this video was just something I thought about one day randomly. And I was like, hey, maybe I should go to the actual spots. I actually have been to where Tchotchke's is, which is a little British pub around here, but I'm so glad that you all had a great time watching this as much as I had editing it and talking over it. I know that work sucks and everything like this really does suck, but at the end of the day, at least we can laugh about it. Thank you all for watching. Oh shit. What's up? No, I'm just leaving. I'm just leaving. Yeah, I'm going right now. Can you just give me a second? Can you get your hands off my car? What? No, I'm not touching anything. What? I'm leaving right now. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. It's fine. It's fine. I'm going. Hey, stop touching me, dude. Stop. Stop. Okay. Get the fuck out of here.